Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. This is our morning pre-market session where we take a look at the structure of the market, the macro to the micro, drill down to where our trade levels are and what our targets and hypotheses are for the day. Please read the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. If you're interested in finding out more about Quantum Leap, please send me an email to quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or contact me on my cell 647-545-8065. This is not a commercial venture. This is a group of retail traders. We do live trading and live market analysis during the course of the trading day. If you want to see more videos like this, go to YouTube and do a search for Quantum Leap Futures. There's probably about 250 days of pre-market sessions. You can get a feel for how we work and what our results are. And then if you like what we do, please follow me on Twitter @crazy2. Okay, so let's start off with yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking for a rotational day with a possible upside grind. But very quickly, and if we got above 88, we were looking for a possible setup of a trend day. We opened up down inside value, inside range. We tested the lower value, couldn't break out of it, and then we rotated up. The most important thing about yesterday and learning to go through those 7 auction logic clues that we talk about is to identify a trend day very quickly and don't fight the trend. As you can see, one of our key 7 auction logic questions on the open was, do we get a close above and below the VWAP before the IB is formed? And you can see that throughout the whole day, we did not come back and break below and close below the VWAP. And once we broke out of value, then we left the VWAP behind and we got into a trend day and went up and tested 2100. 2100 responsive of sellers stepped in and we rotated back down, but we still closed above the IB and above the prior day range. I didn't get to trade most of yesterday. As you know, I had data issues, and then my rule is that even once I get a data issue fixed, I have to wait 3 hours to make sure that the data is accurate so I can trade and not put risk on the table and feel uncomfortable. I hate the rule, and I talked about this yesterday multiple times. I hate the rule, but rules are there to keep us safe. I did get a final trade in. I took a long from 89.75, but I only took one trade. A couple other little scalps to the short side once we got to the 2100, but that was it. I wasn't. It was too late in the day, and I don't like trading in that last hour personally. So, what news do we have today? We have 10 o'clock. We have factory orders and IBD and TIP economic optimism. There's total vehicle sales going on all day, but the big one's going to probably be what ECB President Draghi says when he speaks at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So just remember, we've got afternoon news coming in. This will be, could make a wiggle, but I don't think it's going to make a big move in the market. Each morning I like to start my session with just taking a look at the macro to the micro. I use a basic candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. I'm looking for slope and separation and where the trend is being challenged. And you can see on the monthly, very strong trend, came down the last 2 months, challenged the trend. Last month we popped back up and closed above, and so we're getting a little bit of slope and separation again. We did put a new high in on this month versus last month, and we could see a continuation of this monthly trend coming in. But we don't really violate the trend until we get down below the 2015 level. Going to the weekly, we had that start of the downward trend, and they moved up, closed the technical gap, and now last couple of weeks we've gotten back above the 9 and the 20, and now we're getting into a possible start of a trend. We have a naked cross setting up here at 2030. Write that in your journal. It is on the weekly, so it doesn't mean that we have to come down here this week to take it out, but keep an eye on this 2030 level, and I'll show you why on the composite as well. 2037.75 is what I'm really looking at, and 2031.50. On the daily, you can see we've got this strong upward trend, good slope, good separation, prices paralleling the 9 EMA nicely. We do have a naked cross down here at 1939, but that's not going to come into play, in my personal opinion, this week. So the trend is intact on the daily. Going to the intraday tells a little bit different story. As we move from larger time frame down, we got a possible head and shoulder setting up. We also have a possible cup. I want to take a look at the cup first. So we've got, on the smaller time frames, we've got a little bit of a downtrend. I don't know if it's been challenged. I haven't looked at it for a couple of minutes. But the key is we've got this possible cup. It sets up a cup and handle at 2086, 2087 area, all the way down to the 2078 level. And if we come down here and set the handle up and then rally back up and break above the right rim, we can take a look at the extension and the measured move. Our first target above would be 2113.75. That's significant. I'll show you why in a minute. And then 2121.75. 2121.75 is our measured move if it sets up. It's not valid yet. We have to see it come down and hit this 87 level for it to validate and hold above the 78, 77 level. Let me just get rid of that. And then the extended target's all the way up at 2136, putting in a new all-time high. But again, patterns are that. They're just patterns until they set up and validate. Going to but the upward trend on the 4-hour is still intact. We actually had a FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky tech gap. We closed that tech gap and come down, tested the 9 EMA. But the trend is still intact here. We do have a naked cross right here, but this is one of those ones that I don't like because of the fact that we just dipped below the 20 and then got right back up above. But it is at a significant level, which is that 2080.50 is balance in the area that we just broke out of. Going to the 1-hour. Again, we've got the cup and handle showing up on the 1-hour as well. We've got a naked cross above us at 2092.75. Keep an eye on that. But we had this strong trend going up, and then overnight we've come down and violated that trend. We're below the 9 and the 20. We don't have slope yet, but we do have some separation, so we have to keep an eye on where this trend could be violated to the upside. Going to the 30-minute, same thing. Now you're seeing a stronger trend down on the 30-minute, but we're coming up and testing the 9, trying to get back above it, but we have not violated the trend yet on the 30-minute. On the 15-minute, we have. So they've got the strong trend down. It was getting stronger. Then they came up, broke above the 9 and the 20. Now we're coming back down. So getting a little bit of consolidation, but the trend to the downside has been violated on the 15-minute. And then finally, the 5-minute. We have violated this downward trend We've come up, and now we're getting slope and separation to the upside, and see if we could get a move back up. It is Tuesday, so we have to consider turnaround Tuesday. But I think that this trend is pretty strong right now to the upside. So let's take a look at the big picture. Of course, if you go back to that article that I wrote for Rectitude Market a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about this breakout and the fact that we were trading down here, and we were looking for them to hold above the 1980, and if we held above the 1980, to continue into price discovery up to test the value area low of the longer-term micro composite that runs from February 5th through to August the 19th, where we broke out on the 20th, and to come up and test that. And then if we got up to it and inside, test the year open at 2055, and if we held inside of this, to move up into this 2084.25, which was our microcomposite VPOC and microcomposite and composite VPOC going all the way back to the 2013. We made that move up. We couldn't hold it. We came back down. The VPOC, the composite VPOC, shifted down, but the microcomposite didn't. And we found value down here, and then we rallied, up and went and took out this 8750, tested the 9750 we were talking about, which is the value area high, broke out of it, went up and tested the 21. We put a double top in at the 2100. That is a weak high, and I am anticipating that it gets broken. Just do we have enough momentum to make it up before having to come back? The breakout candle. So this area right here that we just broke out of, the most traded price, even if I put in the breakout candle from this microcomposite and add the breakout candle here, the most traded price in the last 4 days is 2080.50. So we've got to be looking at where we would get short into 2084.50. And I'll show you where I'll be looking on that. It doesn't show up here. It's basically in around the 90.50 area. Currently right now we're trading the 91.25. The microcomposite VPOC from August the 1st to now is 87.75. We're looking for that to come back. The 50% of the significant breakout candle is the 87.75. So that's my first. I think we went down and just tested it. I think we got down as low as 89 on the Globex so far. But if we hold above the 90 level, look for them to rotate back up into this 94.75. That's a key area here where we had a lot of smaller microcomposite VPOCs between the 94 and the 95.75 area. So if we can hold above this level, I think we'll grind back up, and then if we can accept value here around the 94.75, then I think we make another run up into the 97.50 to test that microcomposite value area high, and if we get above there today, then I'm looking to go and break the 2100 week high and go take out our targets above at 2103.50, 2105.50, and the 2110 rule of 10. And then just above that, based on our 20-day ATR target, off the low overnight, our upside ATR target is 2112, and then we got 2113.50, and then the big one, which was 2117 with 15 just in front of it. But let's take a look at the overnight and start looking at our trade page. So our overnight low right now is 89. It's just below yesterday's VWAP. Our overnight high is up at 97.25, just below the microcomposite value area high, that key line in the sand. Overnight high 97 and a quarter, and just above yesterday's VPOC. They stole the VPOC into the close yesterday on a trend day. And if we can hold this level right here, which is the 90.50, then I'm anticipating that we're going to go up, close the naked close at 94.75. There's that key level again that I was talking about. That's going to be our main target above right now. And our key trade level this morning is going to be this 90.50 LVN. This whole area between 90.50 and the naked close is very thin, and we're liable to chop on here. And I'm anticipating hitting probably both sides of this. We still got a half hour to go, so I don't know, where we're going to open. But if we open up in this area, I'm expecting that 94.75 and 90.50, possibly the 89, to be tested within the RB3, which is the first 30-minute candle. Above, let's do our numbers below. And our VPOC is right basically where our Globex VPOC is sitting right at 92, and I'm not anticipating that it's going to change. So that's right where we're chopping around in right now. So you got a pretty tight range overnight. So it's possible that we could take out both the overnight high. This is the overnight low, not the overnight high. And again, we could come down and put a new overnight low in even before we finish this this session. But below the 90.50, I'm looking for the overnight low to get taken care of. And then my main target below right now is this 87.75. That's the 50% of the significant breakout candle. And then if we don't bounce from there, I'm looking for a move down into the value area low here at 85, 84.75, 85 area. We had the VPOC there for most of the day before they stole it into the close. And then we don't need this anymore, so we can get rid of this, expand this out. Okay, once we get down and we break below value, there's really not much to hold us up until we get to the 80.50. So the target below value is that 80.50. And then the main target below is going to be up here at the 78.50. That's our composite VPOC, or the most traded price, going all the way back to beginning of 2013. And then below there, we've got the range low at 75 and a quarter. And then based on our overnight high and our 20-day ATR at 23.01, our downside is, it's not actually 70, it's 74 and a quarter, and 74 and a quarter is also that naked close that we did not take out. So you can't see the naked close, but our ATR target is right on top of that naked close. In fact, if we break below value, I'd be looking for a move down into the 78. I think they'll push to the lower side of that value, and you can see that the CLVN right here, the range low, the CLVN, the lower side of balance around the 78 and a quarter, and our ATR target is all down here at 74. So once we're below value today, I'd be looking for a slow grind down towards these targets. And then if we get below the 74 and a quarter, then we have to start looking for a possible downtrend down into the 70.50, which is going to be our next target below below value and range. And then our key line in the sand, I'm still using I'm using the 69.75. It's for my own reason. It's really 70.50, so you could use the 70.50, but I'm using 69.75. And then below 69.75, the next big target below is going to be the 66 and a quarter. 66 and a quarter with the 64.75 just below us. There's a couple targets right there. And then below that we've got the 60-50 level. The 62 is no longer important. It's the 60-50, and below 60-50, then we get into some of our lower numbers that we've been talking about. I don't think we're going to get there today based on our current target, but we have to know what we're going to do down here. Below the 51, then I think it's going to be a bigger move down, back into this 37.75. Remember I was talking about that 37.75 on the monthly? And that is a significant breakout candle from this balance that we broke out of here. So 37.75, this gets moved up to 37.75. That was my messed up data that I had yesterday. Okay, so that takes us to the downside. Let's take a look at where I'm looking for the upside. Of course, above 90.50, I'm looking for this move up to take out to 94.75. We could come up here and get to it before we get to the open. Above there, if we get into this upper distribution, now you can use the 95, but I would really use this 93.50 area into the 94.75 and look for continuation up to take out the overnight high and the naked VPOC in this upper distribution from the trend day. And then above there, there's really not much until we get to this 97.75, 97.50. If we get up here and we accept this value in around 97, then look for them to come up and take out that weak high that we put in the double top at the 2100. Above 2100, you can have the 0175 as your first fund, but I'm really looking for a move into the 2103.50, 2105.50, and then the rule of 10 down here. And then if we get above 10, then our ATR upside target is 2112 with the 1350, which is the value area high of several of the internal microcomposites, not several, multiple internal microcomposites inside that larger balance area. And then the naked close at 15 and 17, the RTH adjusted high, and then above there you've got the 21, 21, 26. We don't know if that handle is, that measured move is set up, but I'm going to put the 21 up to 21.75 because that is the measured move. And then above there, we got to be looking for them to go and take out and put in a new all-time high up here at 21.34. Don't think that that's going to happen today, but the next target above there is that old measured move at the 21.41 1/4, and then 21.50, and we don't have much to guide us up there. If we get above this 17 area, I wouldn't even think about trying to find a spot to short until we spend some time in this area and let the buyers and sellers show us where they like to do business and where they don't like to do business. So my main hypothesis is going to be a rotational day. If we hold above 85, I'm looking for a rotational day with an upside bias to test the 21 and possibly take us into the first couple targets of 0350 and 0550. But if we break below the 85, then my hypothesis shifts. I'm looking for a slow grind down, rotational day down into the 74s, possibly even to the 70, 69 area. And then below 69, I'm looking for a trend day down into that 2060, 2055 area. But I think we're going to get a tighter range today, and I think we're going to grind and do some repair in this area. Taking a look at the Keltner. Right now, our 24-hour VWAP is, our VPOC and VWAP is sitting in this 92 1/4. It's also our Keltner center line. If we hold above the Keltner center line, the upper Keltner's up here at 98.50. That'll test that 97.50, take out the naked close, naked VPOC, and test the longer-term microcomposite value area high. And above that, look for a move up into 2100 and our upper targets. We get below the Keltner center line, a move down into the measured move that I was looking at earlier has been negated because of the fact that we've rotated back up to where the continuation wave started. So we can take this off actually. But if we break this fractal low at 89, I would actually even take it before then. I would take the 90.50 break. Look for them to move down into this 86. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. And then the lower Keltner line will take us down to 86. I think it'll actually be closer to 87 area by the time we get down there. So that's what I'm looking at the ES. Remember, we still have about 20 minutes to go. So we'll take another look at it. But we're inside of value. We're inside a range. We're looking for rotational day, probably testing both the high and the low of the value area. Gold. Yesterday we were talking about continuation of gold down to this 1131 area. We did come down here overnight. They broke that 1129.70. We're hitting our first target that we talked about yesterday below it at 2660. If we break this 2230, then remember the next big target below is going to be down here in the 1114 area. And we have to start looking at the possibility of them testing back into where this all started and back in this this 1091.40 area. And down here I'm going to start looking for a long in gold again. I missed a portion of this move up and I missed this move down, but you know how I like gold in the 1100 to 1090 area. Especially if we get a blow off top here in the indices. Right now there is no balance. We're in price discovery, but if we get back above this 1130 line, look for them to come up and at least test the 1136, 1137. But if we hold below the 1130, 1131 area, then I think we're going to chop around, probably come down and test this 2230 area, and then below that, look for your first target at 1850, but the big target is going to be down here at the 1114. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to gold today. It's not a good day to trade gold, so let them, find some balance first and show us what the next move is going to be. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. In fact, Marvin, we've got probably 15 minutes. You've got some stuff you wanted to show. Do you want to mic up? No, he must have stepped away. Oh, he can. All right, so I'm going to leave this this running, and we're going to mic Marvin up. If you want to show any charts, Marvin, just shoot them over to me. Remember, we got to do this quickly. We've got about 15 minutes. All right, your mic should be on. Tell me when you're testing your mic. You're going to just stop the recording for a minute, and I'll restart it when we get set up.
See if we can't get up to that settlement and see what happens up there. 95.50 or so.
I like it. I like it even better at 90.50 or 89.50.
I wouldn't dispute that at all.
Any reflections from radar you want to share?
Um, yeah, I do, but I don't think 15 minutes. I don't think I can do it. I,
You can't do much in 15 minutes.
I really can't.
We need to
Based
block
on what
off
I want to
4 hours
share.
for Marvin whenever he gets on. I say that in a lovingly way.
I know. One of my problems is that I don't have the ability to keep my charts up while I'm sharing. So it's better to do it at a time when the market's not trading real actively. That way I'm not distracting people from trade ideas that they might have because they can see what they see. And then I can share some of the things that I saw when I was writing radar.
All right. Well, if you want to set something up for one of the nights this week, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Maybe after today would be good. We'll have our weekly IB and weekly VWAP in and everything. So yeah, that would probably be better.
All right. All right. So this is going to complete our pre-market session. Marvin, stay mic'd up, and we'll come back at this open and see if we can catch a trade onto the open. We're coming down into that 92.50 area. Will you take the trade, Marvin, before the open?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of concern over what factory orders might be, and that's at 7 o'clock.
10
And
o'clock
so
Eastern.
perhaps a little bit of balancing going into that news and then a reaction to it.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to shut this recording down. As always, trade well, trade safe. We'll catch you on the flip side.